Hi guys, my name is Katie Gray, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and then 3 levels of government control of public education. So me, myself, and I love my cat Zoe. She's a calico that I adopted about 3 years ago. Hobbies, I like to run, do puzzles, and go to the lake and do water sports like skiing and wakeboarding. And then really exciting news, I just got engaged 5 days ago to now my fiance, Cole. We dated for 6.5 years and we got engaged in Key West, Florida on the beach. Me, myself, and I education edition. So I grew up in Connecticut, and then right before high school, I moved to Kansas with my family, and I went to Bishop Miege High School. I graduated with my undergrad in secondary education and history from Pittsburgh State University, and I'm currently getting my master's in administration at Fort Hays State University, obviously. Me, myself, and I career edition. So after I graduated Pittsburgh State University, I moved to Omaha, Nebraska for a year. Where I was a middle school office secretary at a school in Fremont, Nebraska. And then I moved back to Lenexa, Kansas, and got a job at Mill Creek Middle School in the DeSoto School District as a 7th grade Pathways teacher. And that was my first year of teaching, and it was also the first year that Pathways was the class, which brought a lot of challenges, but overall was a really good experience, and I had a lot of fun. Pathways is a career-based class. It's a core class just like social studies, science, math, ELA, and like I said, it just focuses on career skills, career explorations, life skills. And then I taught 8th grade Pathways at Mill Creek my 2nd year of teaching, and then next year will be my 3rd year of teaching where I will teach 7th grade social studies. So I've been all over the place at Mill Creek. I also coach the Mill Creek Cheer Squad, and I'm a member of the building leadership team, and I'm also a member of our district's innovation team. And basically what that is we just went one-to-one last year, and they set up an innovation team as a way for teachers of different that teach at different levels, different schools, different contents can get together and find ways to integrate technology into our classrooms. And then I was also nominated for the Horizon Award. Okay, enough about me. Let's talk about the 3 levels of government control of public education. So there are 3 levels: local, state, and federal. At the local level, we are governed by our school board that is elected, and we establish curriculum, hiring personnel, deciding when schools should be closed, our beloved snow days, and they collect property tax on all the homes and businesses. That's how they get their school funding. At the state level, they have the authority to establish their own Department of Education and pass laws, and they have a lot of power, but they kind of delegate that power and give that power to local government, which is really nice because most of the time, locally, we know our community better than the state level, and we can do what's best for our district and our schools. And then the Common Core Initiative, states can opt in to receive a grant from the federal government. So they kind of organize that, set our standards, tell us what we need to do at the local level. And then they provide a little less than half of our school's operating costs. The federal government has been changing over the past couple of years, but as of right now, funds about 8% of our school's operating costs, and includes funds from the Department of Education, Department of Health and Human Services Head Start program, and the Department of Agriculture's School Lunch program. And it ensures equal protection when local and state levels fail to do so, which I think is really important. It just gives students who, maybe not having the equal access to education, if for some reason the local and state government is not upholding those rights, then the federal has the power to come in and make sure that we are upholding those rights, and same with our equal protection for our students and staff. Okay, so locally, who's in charge is our school board and our superintendent, Dr. Frank Harwood, for the DeSoto School District, and they are paid. And their responsibilities are just day-to-day operations, such as establishing our curriculum, hiring personnel, deciding when schools should be closed. And they have the most control of out of the 3, local, state, and federal, but can lose power to the state and federal government. So the most control, but least amount of power. And then at the state level, who is in charge, we have our Kansas Governor, Laura Kelly, our Kansas State Board of Education, also known as KSDE, and Kansas Commissioner of Education, Dr. Randy Watson. And their responsibilities, and they're all paid, responsibilities are creating and implementing curriculum standards, funding and teacher license requirements, which can get on our nerves sometimes as requirements, but they are essential. And graduation requirements, not only for our students that we're teaching, their high school graduation requirements, but also as future teachers, our graduation requirements. And then less control than local, but they have more power than the local government. And then federal, who is in charge, that's our Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVoe. She's paid. Responsibilities, set regulation and legislations, uphold those equal protection laws that I talked about earlier, evaluating schools, and suggesting any policy changes. And they have the least amount of control of state and local, but they have the most power of the three. Okay, let's talk about our standards. So when we talk about evaluating, developing, and implementing management, communication, technology, school-level governance, and operation systems that support each student's learning needs and promote the mission and vision of the school, that's local. Locally, we choose what our mission is going to be, we choose what our vision is going to be, that's local. Component 6.2, evaluating, developing, and advocating for the data-informed and equitable resourcing plan that supports school improvement and student development, that's state. And then reflectively evaluate, communicate about, and implement laws, rights, policies, and regulations to promote student and adult success and well-being, that's federal. And some of these overlap, but mainly we have 6.1 with local, 6.2 with state, and 6.3 with federal. So how does all of this support the educational success and well-being of each student and adult? One way is it ensures the equal protection and equal access to education being upheld. I talked about that earlier with the federal government. At the state level, they're setting our standards. So at the local level, we as teachers know what our expectations are. And as a school and as a district, we know what our standards are for our state. And at the local level, it allows students to be schools to be unique and cater to the needs of their community. That is super important. Locally, ideally, at the local level, we know our community better than at the state and especially the federal level. And what works, for a big district is not going to work for a small district, and what works for, small communities is not going to work for big cities. So it's really nice that locally we have that power, that control to make a school system that works for our community. And then these are my references. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.